Hey, everybody! It's good to see you again. So, the game that we're going to talk about this time is a little-known game called Skyblazer. This was a game that I rented all the time, again, surprise, as a kid from the local video game store that was down the street from us growing up. I remember being really so-so on this. I didn't like it a lot as a kid, to be honest, but upon replaying it as I got older, I realized there was a lot of stuff that you really could appreciate about it if you took the time to get to know it. I mean, I just want to start out by saying, look, nothing looked like this. Nothing sounded like this. This game stood alone style-wise and stands up against every other game on the console. With all that out of the way, let's get started on the playthrough. So, the game starts you off right in the middle of a storm. You work your way over to the right and find out that this big bad guy named Ashura is in the middle of kidnapping your girlfriend? Sorceress? Not sure. Hey! Get back here! Then, after that, you wake up in a hut. This old dude roasts you. Okay, whatever, jerk. Increase my health. So, that's the goal. Track down Ashura and take him and his lame master out. Leaving the hut brings us to the overworld. You're going to be moving from stage to stage to make your way all the way over to the other side of the world, where Ashura, conveniently, is hanging out. Starting off, we have to beat our way through Faltine's woods, which will take us into the temple in Furnace, introducing us to the first boss. So this guy is a little genie lamp that spits out a genie every so often. The genie, when it's out, will fire fireballs out of its hands at you. A really easy strategy here is to just go up and wail on the lamp, and when the genie comes out, run across the stage and then back once the genie fires the fireballs. It's a really good first test of recognizing that some bosses are going to have patterns that you can easily pick up on if you just take the time to look. Next up is our first flying section. There are a couple of these throughout the rest of the game. And the Tower of the Terralisk. This tower. So, for anyone's first time playing this, I think you're gonna be extremely frustrated and extremely annoyed while you're trying to jump around this thing. Take everything that was crappy and kind of annoying about the Mega Man Classic series and jam them all in here. You want rotating backgrounds? You got it. One-shot weird shaman boss things? You got it. Disappearing blocks? All yours. Making our way up to the top brings us to the Terralisk itself. This thing rolls around the room and grows every time you smack it in the eye. I don't want to give too much away. I want to leave some things still a mystery, so that's all I'm going to say about it, but be persistent. It's getting kind of chilly in here. Let's move on to the Petrolith and our ice level. So this one sees you slip sliding all over the place, and in the latter half has a gigantic crusher that moves up and down. Unlike Mega Man X6, was it 6? Unlike some other bad games, when the crusher hits you but it's not enough to kill you, Sky will instinctively just crouch, so you don't actually have to do that. It's a nice little quality of life thing. Making it to the boss, the Petrolith is a wall that rotates around slowly at first, but much faster as the fight goes on. The goal of this fight is to hit its mouth and eyes every single time it loops around. Once you've done that enough... What is that? Well, after that, let's move on to the Carrion Lair. This is our water level. You're gonna be swimming around, flipping switches, moving through currents, and I'm getting dizzy! It's easy enough to work your way through. As always, I'm gonna say, I feel like I'm a broken record here. Just take your time, take it easy. Don't be afraid to explore and try things out. If you take a couple swipes at one of these dragons moving around, they're gonna more than likely drop off a ton of HP and a ton of magic. So it's really easy to keep yourself alive while you're trying to find your way through this maze. I hate this boss. It's 4 egg sacs that spit out 4 fish. And you need to hit the egg sacs, which have a very long, like I'm talking like 10-second period of invulnerability before you can hit them again. If you deal with the fish, they're going to be constantly respawning, and if they get out of sync, they can come from all angles. So what I recommend and what I've always done, I am going to spoil this one, is if you just kind of swim around and get them all to cluster together, you can actually trap them on the other side of the wall so that they don't have a chance to get over to you. And then just slowly take out the egg sacs, and bingo bango, Bob's your uncle, you did it. I feel like flying, so you know what? Let's mess up the car. This one's a real quick stage. You're just gonna get pushed around by the air, so you'll be moving up, down, left, and right, getting pushed all over the place, and dealing with Grim Reapers, flying dragons, all that good stuff. You know you love it. Going to the boss, it's one dude that splits into a whole bunch of other dudes, and the other dudes explode immediately whenever they're hit. So the real one can take a beating, but I mean, this one is so short and easy, it's barely worth mentioning to me. Yes, you can get knocked around and fall straight off the map, but I promise if you just try it a couple of times, he goes down in like 4 hits. After clearing the rest of the levels, we need to head to the Great Tower to get the final magic spell, the Fiery Phoenix. This is going to allow us to finally stand toe-to-toe with Ashura, and required that we get all of the lesser powers from every boss up to this point before we're allowed to even attempt this one. This place will throw every trap, every pain in the ass that the game can muster up at you all at once. Get comfortable, you're gonna be here for a while. In fact, there's a really fun, honestly it's fun section right in the beginning where you need to use the dash power that you got from the second boss to maneuver through a spike maze. The spikes luckily don't kill you if they hit you though, so you can even damage boost a little bit if you really want to, but it's very doable. At the very top, you're gonna fight off against the boss of this level, this dragon, and not to bury the lead, sorry, it looks really cool, but you can literally just stun lock this guy, hold him in place, and he can't move. He can't do anything. So you just kind of beat him to death. Like, it's like beating a stick figure to death. It can't move. Poor little thing. All right, this is it. As I was recording this, I was realizing this game has a lot more in common with Mega Man than I guess I ever put together until I was looking at it to do a video on. So now that we're at the final dungeon, we have to go through a quick little boss rush. It's gonna start you in a spawn room, give you some gems, give you some magic, give you some health, face you off against the boss, and then move you back to that spawn room until you go through all of them. Now, I will say, I don't like the spooky music here. Not one bit. But these bosses can really be taken down easily, especially now that you have all of the magic. So just force your way through, and let's get on to the fight with Ashura. So he starts off completely invulnerable. He's got this little rinky-dink shield that forces you to use the Fiery Phoenix. You use it, hit him with it, shield goes flying, and then you just kick his head in. After a while, his head will come clean off, and all seems to be totally fine, but oh wait! It's a fake out! The real boss comes out, and well, ironically, just like before, just kick his head. Just kick his head, and don't stop kicking his head. And we're done and done, boys! Oh, I guess it was a sorceress after all. Huh. Guys, look, you have to understand, Rental was all that we had back in the day. I have a really good friend who loves the Resident Evil series, and I know that's not a hot take or anything weird, but I remember talking to him about it because he was trying to get me into it, and I said, man, I just can't get used to these tank controls. I don't get it. He said to me, yeah, well, when you rented it on Friday, and that was all you had until Monday, you were gonna get used to the controls and you were gonna like it. So I think that's the point I'm trying to drive home here. Yes, it is tough and it is kind of cheesy, but I really think once you just get the hang of it and get used to how the running feels and the wall jumping feels and the different magic spells, if you want to put the time in, replaying is really where the game shines. This playthrough took all of an hour, and that was with a couple of deaths and letting the cutscenes play out so I could record the footage. I mean, it really is a quick romp, and hey, sometimes that's all you're looking for. You just want to kill an hour, have some fun, see some cool bosses, listen to some really unique music for the SNES, and have a good time. I would highly recommend you get your hands on it if you can, and hey, thank you so much for checking out my video.